Good morning and good evening. Welcome back to For the Lonely Nights. I'm Paul Kim. And how are y'all doing? I'm glad you're all here as we head towards the end of this crazy, crazy year. It's the month of December, full of songs and Christmas cheer. And I'm your host for the Lonely Nights, whether you're far or you're near. Welcome back, guys. Yeah, as you can tell, it is Christmas time. It's December, and I think the holiday season is the best time of the year. It's the one time where despite everything else that's going on, all the crazy things, this is the one time everybody kind of comes together and has a cheerful spirit. At least for this last month. So yeah, Christmas time is definitely one of the few holidays that my family does kind of celebrate. We don't really celebrate too many holidays. I think barely none, honestly. Barely any. But I think Christmas is definitely the one holiday that we definitely can't pass. How we do Christmas here in the Kim fam. In the Kim family is we like to you know we like to decorate the place a lot. We like to go all out with the decorations. We I think a few days ago we set up our Christmas tree. We have this Christmas tree that we use every year. And I think honestly setting up the Christmas tree is is definitely one of those traditions. One of those things that you have to do as a family. Although this year, sadly to say, I was the only one that set up the Christmas tree all by myself because everyone else was busy. But hey, I definitely enjoyed it. Something about the Christmas tree though, like I don't know if it's just our Christmas tree or if anyone else has this problem, but like as soon as you set it up, you put up all the ornaments, the lights, all the little decorations. We have these little like snowmen, like styrofoam snowmen that like go on the tree as well, and some candy canes and all of that. And then you take a step back and you look at it, and then you're like, wait a minute, something seems off. Like something seems awkward. Like maybe one side has a little too many ornaments than the other, or I don't know, maybe the tree is like crooked. I don't. Something was off. Like, and so I had to redo the decoration on the tree, like at least like 3 times. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it. Earlier today actually, Mama Kim, she loves kind of decorating the house. Even throughout the year, she likes to move things around. Change things up a bit every once in a while. And so, she brought out the Christmas lights, all of the Christmas decorations, like the stockings and everything. And she, set up all the lights outside on our balconies and inside. Like put out the snow globes, the stockings. Christmas hats. I'm wearing my Santa hat right now. And it just having those things, you know, all the decorations, just laid out, and just and even turning on like Christmas carols in the background as you go upon your day, like it definitely hits different. It definitely is such a mood that only comes once a year, and like it's such a great mood. Like I think definitely, like I said, the holiday season is a one time of the year where you can kind of forget for a time, all the problems and all the things, and just really, focus on spending time with yourself and your family and your loved ones. But yeah, so Christmas time, love it. To During these times, so like the one of the biggest things about Christmas is not the decorations. It's not the presents either. It's not even about the family. It's about the Christmas songs. And you know what I'm talking about, those Christmas songs that you're only legally allowed to play one time out of the year in the month of December. If you play any earlier than December, you're kind of infringing on the rights of Thanksgiving and everything else. Like people's, you know, you kind of people kind of look at you like a criminal or something, and if you play it even a day after December, into the New Year's, and you're just doing the New Year wrong, so December is the one month that you're legally allowed to play these Christmas songs. And dang, dude, these Christmas songs go hard. Um I was staying late up at night with a couple friends like last week, and we were just talking about Christmas songs and like all the songs that we like. And dang, like I don't know, like there's something about Christmas songs. Maybe it's just like the because of the fact that they only come around 1 month a year, but something about them just kind of uh, it resonates differently than any other song. It's like you hear Christmas songs, and then suddenly you're brought back into your childhood. You're brought back to the happy days. Um, and yeah, like even this year, while we're turning on those Christmas carols in the background, like just listening to all of the old ones. Like if you, our family, like we we like to listen to Pentatonics, um, and their Christmas album, and like Little Drummer Boy, Mary Did You Know, like all these songs that they did. And we just go on YouTube too and just search up Christmas songs uh, for 2 hours straight, those playlists. And yeah, it definitely it is the biggest things about the holiday season. And it kind of got me thinking too, like these Christmas songs, at least the classic ones, like the traditional, the ones that everybody knows, like they're the same songs that get played year after year after year. And most songs, you know, most songs throughout the year, like regular songs, that get popular, that uh, get big, those hit songs from those big artists, um, they usually only have a lifespan for about a couple months, few months. If it's really really good, or really really popular, maybe a year at max. But after that, they kind of disappear into the abyss. You don't really hear the song come out on the radio anymore, unless it's like a throwback or stuff, things like that. Um, but Christmas songs, I feel like, are one of the few songs that continue to come back year after year. The same songs, the songs that were recorded way back then, year after year, and it doesn't never seems old. It never feels, like, oh, these are out of date. It's like, dang, can't wait, like, dang, like, I was so excited to hear these again, couldn't wait. And now, like, dang, we're jamming out to them. And um, like, we all know, like, the biggest, Christmas songs. I think one of the biggest Christmas songs and songs in general, the all-time classic is, um, oh, what was the name? Wait, yeah, All I Want for Christmas is You by Mariah Carey. Um, and that's definitely a classic. I think that's the king of all Christmas songs. Um, and like I see these memes online on social media where like they're like, oh, like Mariah Carey every time it hits December 1st, and like shows like a person counting all of these stacks of money. And it's so true, like this song has lasted like I think over a decade, I'm sure. Um, and it's like honestly, I'm sure like one of the most played Christmas songs year after year. She recently, like I think a year or two ago, made a new music video on it too, because it was still so relevant and still so popular. Um, and every time, every year, every December, I'm sure she makes hella bank. Uh, just from the fact that, you know, it's just so it's just played so much everywhere. And so like I'm like, dang, I have this music channel, FTLN music going on. And I've been working on a couple songs lately, and I'm like, dang, maybe I should like focus all of my attention on writing this this nice like Christmas song that, you know, once it pops off, and you know, people start listening to it, then it just is gonna remain a classic for years and years to come. And every December 1st, that's gonna be me in the meme, counting my stacks of cash. But definitely that's a big dream, a big wish, and maybe it'll happen. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, speaking of FTLN music, that's something I got some exciting news on that later on in this episode. But before we get there, I got even more exciting news. This episode is all about the exciting news for you guys. So if you guys didn't know, at least for the past month, or I've been trying to work out, how to get this podcast on just more accessible platforms, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those places, right? Not just on YouTube. And I've been trying out different like distribution platforms and websites, and trying to see. But recently, I actually found this website called Anchor. And dude, honestly, this Anchor came in clutch. Like um it definitely is, was a lifesaver. Helped it has so many different things to help me record and edit and upload my podcast. And once you had like set up Anchor, with the this distribution progress that they have, it's like a one-time setup thing. And once you set it up, Anchor automatically distributes your podcast on all of these different platforms like Spotify, Apple, and all of these things. And like, you don't have to manually do it every time you have a podcast now. Like, every time you just upload on Anchor, it's everywhere. And like I recently found out too that Anchor actually has these sponsorship kind of opportunities where you can make money through advertisement or listener support, through their platform in your podcast. So whenever people listen to your podcasts, and you have like a 30-second ad somewhere in your podcast, they listen to it. After a certain amount, you can start earning money through the content you make. And so all these are definitely very new to me. I still have a lot of figuring out to do. I still have a lot of learning to do, but it's like honestly so exciting. It's so like, yeah, it makes me feel like a professional. So that's definitely this is definitely a great thing, for me to try out, and kind of build upon, going into the future with all of my future podcasts. And yeah, like I said, like when I'm talking about, the advertisements and making money through my podcast, I actually got my very first sponsorship earlier this week. And it was, from Anchor themselves, like a big, a nice starting point. And like I had to do some research on like how to make like a nice advertisement or whatever, and things like that. But you know, just a quick kind of overview. How advertisements work on this platform is that, if companies or people kind of reach out to you, and then you kind of make an ad for them. It could be 30 seconds, a minute, or whatever. There's different requirements for different ads. And once you make that ad, and once you dedicate a certain time or space in your podcast for, advertisements and things like that, Anchor will automatically, find the most relevant ad and things like that, and play it in those dedicated time slots. And, like, it pretty much does everything for you. All you have to do is make the ad, and allow the ads to be played in your podcast. And so I'm gonna try that right now. I'm gonna see if see if it works, see how it kind of flows. But yeah, so this is gonna be an ad space. In the future podcast, I'm sure it'll be a lot smoother. But as this is the first one trying it out, um, it's kind of exciting and awkward at the same time. But yeah, so we'll be back after this ad. So stay tuned. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I really hope that something played, or else it was just gonna be like an awkward gap of silence. Um, but oh well, we learn as we go. But yeah, good stuff, great, cool stuff. I am now a professional podcaster now, so you shall refer to me as such. Yeah, dude, I'm making it big time. But that's enough of that. Like I said, one more time, For the Lonely Nights podcast is now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Um, I'm sure other major websites as well. I'll put all the links down in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. So yeah, make sure to check those out. Make sure to go ahead and listen through all of my podcasts as well. It'll really help me out. But with that being said, I have another channel. If you guys didn't know, I know I kind of introduced this a few podcasts back, but I have a music channel as well called FTLN Music. One of my great buddies, he actually kind of recommended the title "Music for the Lonely Nights," and that's honestly pretty catchy too. Not gonna lie. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I debuted that channel with my song "Boxer Briefs." If you guys remember, classic song. Really, like, plays with those heartstrings. Very emotional, very impactful. But yeah, I actually came out with a new song on that channel. Little backstory on that. I was like 2 weeks ago, I think. I was pretty swamped with a lot of work, schoolwork, and other things and other responsibilities. And I just one day I was just doing my work. I just was kind of done with everything. I'm like, dude, I cannot continue to do this work right now. And so I just decided to drop everything I was doing and just, start writing a song, writing a tune. I had my guitar right next to my desk, so I was just, strumming and just humming out tunes and words. And basically, this song was made out of procrastination. But, I wrote the song in a few hours, and then I did all of the instrumentals. Like I went kind of big on this one. I went on GarageBand. I played different instruments. And made this sound pretty nice. Yeah. And so like pretty much in the span of 2 days, I completed the song, and so far a good handful of my friends have heard it, and I've gotten pretty positive feedback on it. I'm sure no one would ever say anything negative to my face. So, there's that. But I'm actually pretty proud of this one. I think definitely it comes from, it's not kind of a emotional song like Boxer Briefs, it comes from a place where, it's just a prayer that I've been kind of praying to God, recently in the past few months. And also, it's a prayer that I find myself, kind of praying to God in times of just struggle and hardship. And, when things just seem very lost, it's kind of a prayer I always pray to God. And so I turned that into a song. And so the words, they really do mean a lot to me. And, I think, yeah, it definitely resonates, I'm sure with others as well who have felt this kind of way. So I'll go ahead and play the song at the end of this podcast to kind of play us out. I'll also put the link in the description if you guys want to go check out that channel. and listen to that one, and also Boxer Briefs and all of my future hit songs. Don't worry, I'm gonna get very famous off of these. But yeah, but actually talking about writing songs, um, I actually got a question from a viewer. One of my millions of viewers, that listen weekly. One of the viewers asked me, to kind of go through the process of writing songs. They asked me like, hey, like I think it'd be pretty cool if you kind of talked about, your process when you're writing these songs. Where do you start? How do you go through, all these instruments, recordings, and get the finished product? And I thought that was pretty interesting as well because I'm not a professional songwriter yet, you know, but like the two songs on that channel aren't the only songs I've ever made. I've written plenty of other songs too. Most of them are yet to be finished, but yeah, like whenever I have this kind of creative spark, and these come pretty randomly as well, but it's just, I how I start all of this, is I just strum on my guitar, and it could be, any series of chords. There's so many different ways you can go with this, especially if you know music really well, which I really don't. I'm not too advanced in my musical talents or skills or whatever it is, but at least I know the basics, the fundamentals, and so, I like strum out some basic chords. And while I'm doing that, I just kind of hum along, no words, just a melody. I just kind of hum along, and just keep humming, just random, improv, kind of thing, until I stumble upon, a certain melody, that certain tune that I find, is just, yeah, very, very catchy. It is very nice. It flows well. It kind of, matches well with, my voice, and the kind of tone that I'm trying to go for, and things like that. And so, and through this whole time I'm recording, like even from the start, even if I'm doing like gibberish and improving, I always have my phone, recording the whole progress, because a lot of times, you're kind of doing this, and then you stumble upon a nice tune, and then you just keep going with it, and it's nice and nice, and then after you're like, yes, let's use that, but then you forget how it goes. I think that happens a lot of times, and so if you have it recording the whole time, even if you forget at the end, you can always come back to it and listen to it again and remind yourself, and so it's always there for you. And so that's what I do. I record the whole thing, and once I got a solid kind of basis on, the musical aspect of it, I kind of began to write the words, the lyrics, and, this is the part of the process where I kind of determine where this song is gonna go. It could be, a very, a very emotional, and very kind of serious song like Boxer Briefs, that comes from the heart, comes from a deep, dark place. Or it could be, you know, um, a joke song, of just something light, something funny, something casual, something you just kind of hum along, day to day. But, wherever I want to take this, that's where I decide, and that's where how I write the words. And I think the words are like, um, the hardest yet the most rewarding part of this whole progress, writing the lyrics, because you can do so much with the words that you write on that page, um, and at the same time, like it's just so hard to even get anything on that page in the first place. It's so easy to, have write a verse or two, and then suddenly come across like a writer's block or whatever it is, a songwriter's block. That's what it is. And just after that, you just kind of your brain kind of shuts down. And there's so many times where I like got through, like halfway through the song of writing all the words, and then my brain kind of just shut down, and I just couldn't get myself back to writing the words again. And so a lot of times I just end up not being able to finish some of these songs. And so you just gotta crank it out, just focus and grind it out in those couple hours. Because if you just kind of leave it and say, oh, I'll come back to it later, at least for me, it never really seems to work out. So this newest song, that's what I did. I just kind of set aside those few hours, and I just grinded it out, cranked out those words and lyrics. And once I got all of that, that's the hard part done. After that, especially with this last one, I use GarageBand. I'm sure other professionals or people who have been doing this longer than I have, you probably use some better softwares, but I mean, GarageBand is pretty nice. I like it. And then I just kind of mess around with different kinds of songs, and different kind of instruments that can really supplement the music and just really, just make it the kind of the sound that I'm just truly happy with, that really fits with the song, the theme of the song, and so all of that wrapped together, at the very end, just listen through it, any tweaks, changes, and I realized that at least, going through this recent song, like, I feel like you're never really going to be 100% satisfied with what you have, what you made. I feel like you listen to it, you feel like you've done everything you could, and it's still gonna sound like something is missing. It's still gonna sound that, kind of, I wouldn't say lacking, I wouldn't say incomplete, but there's just something there that doesn't really speak, fullness or complete satisfaction. But I think that's just something that's always there at the end. And I at this one too, this recent one, I just kind of, at the end, I was like, you know what, like, there's really no point kind of hovering over this for hours and hours, trying to figure out what's wrong, what's missing, like, you just got a full send sometimes. And I uploaded it. Like, I could have definitely sang better, re-recorded some stuff, to sound better and things like that. But I mean, at that point, I kind of decided that it was better for me to finish this product and be happy with the results while I'm just still and so invested and passionate about this whole this song and the whole process, then find myself frustrated and hung up and about this thing and just lose the passion, lose the investment and all of the joy in it, and end up with something, sure, that could be kind of better, but it doesn't really hit as hard. And so I put it out. I think definitely when it comes to having other people listen to your work, whether it be this podcast or songs or anything, there's so much embarrassment and nervousness and anxiety that comes with it. A lot of times or at least I don't, I really don't want to put myself out there and tell people, hey, I got this new thing, new song, new podcast, like, listen to it or things like that. I just kind of keep these things to myself. But I've been learning through making this podcast and things like that, like, like, it's not even a big deal, honestly. It's not like this is like your life's like finest work or anything. It's not like you're even a professional songwriter or a podcaster. Well, I am both, don't worry. But and most people, your friends, your family, they're here to support you. They'll only support you. Rarely do anyone ever say anything negative about something that you kind of open up to them about. And so that's what I did with this one. I kind of fought back, my nervousness and anxiety and my fear of judgment. I kind of let people hear it, and it's great. I think, hey, closing in on 100 views, so pretty big, I know. And yeah, I think it definitely helped me gain more confidence, especially going into the future as well. So that was a big jumble of things. Once again, disclaimer: I am not, Ed Sheeran or IU or one of these, the greats. But I think, I think you know, I think I'm pretty good. So hope you guys learned something. And dude, I think after having some of my friends listen to this song, they told me like, "Yo, I've been working on a song as well. I haven't been able to hear them yet, or at least not all of them, but I think it's such a precious thing, being able to hear other people's work like that. Something that you wouldn't really expect of them normally, but it hits differently. I think I used that phrase "hits differently" like 50 times already in this episode. Hopefully that's the last one. But yeah, so that's that. I know these podcasts haven't been weekly recently, but I've been very busy, very caught up with a lot of things. But hopefully, as we guys close up in this end of the year, this crazy year, hopefully I'll be able to have more time and to be able to, put out more podcasts for myself and for everyone. So thank you again all for listening. And as always, we're going to end on a Bible verse before I play out my new song for you guys. And today's Bible verse comes from Psalms 37, verses 1 through 6. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Amen. So yeah, thank you guys for listening once again. I'll see you guys next week. And as always, all glory to God. And without further ado, here is Long Socks Over Stockings, aka Your Hand. Enjoy. Testing. 1, 2. Check. Yeah. Here I stand alone, my fire's burning cold. I don't know where to look towards anymore. My purpose is unknown. What direction do I go? I'm getting numb in body, mind, and soul. So here I am again, and nothing's changed since then. I still cry in silence, waiting for this night to end. So what else can I do? We go back home to you. God, please help me stand, Lord, I'm reaching for your hand. Yeah, reaching for your hand. Oh, power, love, and gold, what do I know of those? Just staring as the world keeps passing by. A life to yet unfold, a life I can't control, just waiting for the morning sun to rise. So here I am again, and nothing's changed since then. I still cry in silence, waiting for this night to end. So what else can I do? We go back home to you. God, please help me stand, Lord, I'm reaching for your hand. So what am I reaching for? Reaching for, I do not comprehend. But I don't wanna see this life again. So what am I reaching for? Reaching for, I'm sure I'll know someday. But right now all I know is I can't stand. Here I am again, the
pen, writing out each word that comes and goes. It don't make sense. Here's my pretty you, how my heart breaks through. Reaching for your hand, girl, please come take this hand.